Hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of School Stuff. Every weekend I'll be posting new videos on how to do school stuff. In this episode we'll be learning how to do fractions, adding and subtracting them. Well, if you want to add and subtract fractions, there's a couple of rules we have to follow. 1/8 plus 3/4. Now, the only way we can add fractions is if the denominators are the same. In multiplying, dividing fractions, that does not matter. But in adding and subtracting fractions, it does matter. So now, this is the numerator, this is the denominator. We have to get the denominators the same. Now, we have to convert this fraction into another fraction that has the same value but has a denominator of the other one. We know this because 4 times 2 is 8. So if we multiply the bottom by 2, we also have to multiply the top by 2. So that's 3 times 2. So now this is going to be 1/8 plus 6/8. 6/8 and 3/4 are the same. They equal the same, and we can use them interchangeably. In this case, that's what we're doing. So, to add and subtract fractions, do not change the denominator. That stays the same, 8. What we add is the numerator, 1 and 6, which is 7. So the answer to this is 7/8. Now in this example, we will be subtracting fractions. Now, how do you know which one you have to change? Well, we have to get the denominators the same. We can get 4 to equal 12 by multiplying by 3, right? So, we multiply the bottom by 3, we also have to multiply the top by 3, so, like that. So now, we change this fraction. This will be 9/12. Remember that 3/4 is equal to 9/12. So we didn't really change the value of it. This is still the same number. And we subtract that by 1/12. Now we make sure the bottom is the same, 12, and we change the top to 8. Now this is not the final answer because you can simplify this fraction. We can divide the bottom by 4, and we could divide the top by 4. So now this answer will become 2/3. That will be the final answer. So now in this example, you have 3 things being added together. To do this, you can either change them all into mixed numbers, or just change the fractions so that the denominator is the same. I am going to do it both ways. Here is one way, and here is another way. So, if you want to do it so that the denominators are all the same, just we can take all these to make it equal 4. So this is 1 3/4. We don't have to change that. We do have to change this to 2 2/4. Remember that 2/4 is the same as 1/2. And keep the 2 1/4. So now we could add all the whole numbers. 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5. And 3/4 plus 2/4 plus 1/4. The denominator is still 4. So all we have to do is 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is 6. This is not the final answer. 6/4 can be reduced to 5 3/2. And this is more than 1. 3/2 is 1.5. So we have to add 1.5 with 5. So that's going to be 6.5. Because this is 1.5. Now, if you want to do it so it's all mixed numbers, change them all to mixed numbers first. So it will be 1 times 4 plus 3, which is 7/4, and then 2 times 2 plus 1, which is 5/2, plus 2 times 4 plus 1, which is 9/4. Now we have to change the denominator so that they all equal the same. So we can change this all to 4. So keep the 7 fourths, change this to 10 fourths, and then keep the 9 fourths. Now we have to add all of them. So if you do add all of them, it will equal 7 plus 10 is 17, plus 9 is 26 over 4. Now, 26 over 4, you can, how many 4s can go into 26? Well, 6 4s can go into 26. So this will equal 6, and how many 4s are left over? 2 over 4. And then this will all simplify, it will be 6.5. So you could see that these two numbers are the same. It doesn't matter which way you go, but you'll get the same answer. This example, 8 minus 3 1/5. So now, we can either change them all into mixed numbers and add like that, or all into improper fractions. So, let's do the improper fractions first. This 8 is also equal to 8 over 1. Every number is over 1. So we have to change this into improper fraction. We could do 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 1 is 16. So 16 over 5. So now we have to change this fraction, which is still equal to 8, into a one that has a denominator of 5. So we have to multiply this by 5 and multiply this by 5. 8 times 5, as you all know, is 40 over 5. And this is still 16 over 5. Now this eventually becomes 40 minus 16, which is 24 over 5. Change that into a mixed number. How many 5s go into 24? 4 and 4/5. Because if you change this back into an improper fraction, it's 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 4, which is 24, which is 24 over 5. Now, if you want to do it where it's all mixed numbers, you need a fraction to subtract from 1/5, right? So 8 is also equal to 7 and 5 over 5, right? Because 5 over 5 is 1. And then this is a 7, so 1 plus 7 is 8, which is equal to that, right? So then you could just subtract this by 3 and 1/5. So now you could subtract the whole number, which is 4, and then keep the denominator, which is 5, and then 5 minus 1 is 4. See how these two are the same. It doesn't matter which way you go, it will get you the same answer. All for this episode of School Stuff. Remember to subscribe and like this video, and remember to leave comments for any future videos you want me to do.